Sometimes a little change is good, no? It gives you the opportunity to move ahead in life, to grow and discover, to reach new bolder milestones, while still holding true to everything you stand for. IDBI Federal has now changed to AGS Federal. It's the same old company, but with a bold new outlook.
मुंबई में बैठ के कोलकाता से गुड़ का रसगुल्ला, आहा, यही तो जीवन।
जस्ट माई रूट्स, लालच को पंख लगाओ, किसी भी शहर से खाना मंगाओ।
Hello and welcome to this episode of Backstage with Boria with Anju Bobby George, a personal, very, very close friend and of course one of the legends of Indian athletics, world champion, coach, mentor. And I've been reading some of her comments recently, very upbeat about Indian athletics. So it's time to deep dive. If you see Neeraj Chopra doing well, Sri Shankar doing, if I take a look, all of a sudden, there is a lot of hope and positivity. But when you approach a major championship, let's break this down. How do you approach a Commonwealth Games? Clearly, we have had a good record in the past. In women's events, we've had a very decent record. How are you looking at India's prospects in Birmingham? And then let's break this down to understand, how we can sort of improve upon Tokyo and leading into Paris in 2 years' time. So your thoughts on the CWG first.
Actually, in athletics, Athletics Federation of India has chosen particular events. And those events are actually this year doing perfectly well, especially throws events, jump events, 400 meters. So all these events are walking. So it's in our priority, and all these events are doing perfectly well in Indian soil. And now Neeraj Chopra is doing in Diamond Leagues and all the top events. So like that, actually, our top athletes have to go and get the experience from the major championships. So doing in India is a different thing, and doing in international soil is a different thing. So they need that exposure and experience before the major championships. So most of our athletes are yet to go for that competitions, and they did really, as I said, really well in India. So, but I am still very positive about the competitions, because if you look at the career best, this year most of them did really well. So if they can reproduce the same performance in Commonwealth Games, they are already in the medal bracket. But
that was my question, Anju. That was my question. You have done in India, and in fact, interestingly, internationally better. Now, that is what we don't see. Unfortunately for our athletes, we see in international competitions, the graph goes down. So somebody jumps 8.5 meters here, 8.2. In international competitions, under 8. So, and we've seen even in Tokyo, for example, in short put 20 plus meters, under 20. So we have seen these things. So in your case, you stand out. Why? Why are you a legend? Because in international competitions, you were able to do better than what you did your personal best in India. How does that happen? What is required? Give me an insight into the mindset that is needed.
There are two things. So few people are just believing in training and going for the major championships. But the ideal thing, what we need, the halfway we have to do the training, and we need to peak through competitions. That also in top level competitions with the top level athletes. So we are not doing for the medals, we are doing it for the experience. And when the major championships comes, we can rightly evaluate the athlete and the coaches, those who are in the top level, and we can make our own strategy. So like that, we can do better performance in the major championships. But unfortunately, most of our Indians actually not there in the ranking list. So we need to be in the best in the world to get that top level competition. So unfortunately, they are not in the ranking list, so they are not getting the major championships. Neeraj he's a legend, so he is able to get any competition, so he can go and he can compete. But that is not the case of other athletes. So we have to get an international manager for that, and we have to um, um, like in the year beginning itself we need to prepare. So which competition we have to appear and how we can go. Sometimes even if we are not in the top list, sometimes there is a chance to get the competition. So how we can trigger that, all these things coaches and managers have to decide, and properly they have to do that. So speaking
So
through
what you are telling me is planning in way in advance, proper managerial support, so that you get experience at the top level with top athletes, so that you are in turn ready for international competitions. And you are saying that in case of Neeraj it's happened because obviously he's in that league, but unfortunately that's not yet the case with some of our other athletes. Now if that is the case, why are you positive, or how are you positive for say the CWG or other competitions? Is it based on their Indian performances, or give me a sense? And if that is a problem now, with just some days to go for the games, how do you overcome such a problem? Can that be done?
See, in Sri Shankar case, he was miserably failing throughout many of the competitions previously. But luckily, this year he went for 2 competitions before the Commonwealth Games, and he did really well. So we can expect. He already did there in Greece and one other competition. So he got a little bit of experience, and if he can reproduce the same thing, he will be in the medal bracket. So that's my belief. So, but our 400-meter runners also, they were training abroad and they did few competitions there. But I don't think that is adequate, because we need enough experience and enough exposure. So that is still yet to reach actually. So anyway, we can cross the fingers and wait for the best.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and again, as I said, this is a forward-looking interview, and I'm not here to sort of, neither of us are interested in the negativity. So that's what I'm trying to understand. That take Athletics Federation of India under Adil, who's a very good administrator. Now, do you see a change? Do you see a change in the mindset, and are you positive in the next 2 years? Because obviously the goal will be Paris. If Neeraj can, somebody else also can, right? I mean, a first has already been achieved. So if I ask you to forward look, Anju, and wear the role of mentor, or the hat of mentor for Indian athletics overall, how will you strategize the points that you raised? More experience, more competition, more managerial support. So because problem is, we will wake up 2 months before the Commonwealth Games, 2 months before the Asian Games, 2 months before an Olympics, and say, hey, यार मेडल क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है? मेडल मिलना चाहिए. 130 करोड़ का आबादी में एक मेडल क्यों है? That is our common logic. Unfortunately, as Abhinav says, 4 years or 5 years, last time 3 years, this time the cycle to the Olympics, every day is needed for preparation. वो हमारे देश में नहीं होता है. So your thoughts on that?
Yeah, actually, that preparation started because we need to start something, and then I can't say that it will be a huge jump. Slowly, one by one, we have to reach that position. So we identified few events. Now in the Indian soil, these events are doing better. Now slowly we have to bring those events to the international level, and that is happening. So that's why Sri Shankar and other athletes could do better in international competitions. So now next year or this year end, we have to bring all these events to the international level, and we need to find a route how we can pitch them in the major championships. So it's very unfortunate that, I can't say that it's unfortunate, it's actually the rule is like only 12 competitors can be in the top level competition. So most of our athletes are below that. So that is our issue. So we need to bring them, and we need to find a way how we can pitch all these athletes in the top ranking. So which are the major championships where we can get the points, and we have to find and go. Even the B-level competitions will get some points. So we have to go in that, and then from there we need to grade up, and we can reach up to the this ranking list. So
Got
that planning we have to do.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you've given me a kind of a grid, and now with money, with corporate sponsorship and top scheme and government, this is doable. Just to digress a little bit, I'll come back. I was seeing one of your tweets, and you said, I think you and Bobby were standing together, and you said the dream almost fulfilled, everything coming beautifully together for your own academy. Where is it? Obviously it will become a cradle to create future champions. You've already given us Shaili and more. Give me a sense of where your own facility is.
Yeah, academy started in Bangalore. The facility, it is almost ready. It was a great struggle for a few years because of sponsorship. We struggled a lot, and now it is almost at the end. And the kids actually they already started training and they started performing. So it's nearby Bangalore side, and thanks to you also. The first support came from you itself and from your friends. So I'm really thankful for that. And yes, the track is ready now. So in a couple of days we can start training there. But still, the kids are training in they're staying in Sports Authority of India. So we need to bring them to our academy. So that process is a lengthy process that is going on now. So yeah, there are 16 athletes, and most of them are started their progressive jumps. Hopefully by 24 we can see them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I remember Shaili telling me that Anju ma'am discovered me and got me, and sort of just handpicked me, provided support, money, food, cost, living. You took care of everything. That is incredible, Anju. Credit to you and Bobby for being able to do what you've done for Indian athletics. So this dream that you have, I mean, obviously all of this takes time, but if I can forward think, is 2 years enough for Anju Bobby George to give us a medal winner from the academy?
See, already we have got a junior, because they all are juniors, and Shaili will be just 20 years by then, 24, and still it's a very young age. So we are not pushing her. If she is capable to cope up with our expectations and our training, then she will be ready. But 2028 is our real target. 2024 we are aiming, but 28 is our real target, because we cannot push a young girl to just, because it's not it's just organic growth. It's not nothing.
No, and it's also about mental health. I mean, we can't push a young athlete where her mental health goes for a toss and she succumbs to pressure. None of us want that. But so, what is your plan for Shaili this year? Is she going to compete in the Junior World Championships? What is your plan for Shaili this year?
Actually, she was out from the competition after Junior World Championship almost for 6-7 months, and now we got only just 3 months to prepare her for this final trial. So now she is aiming for Junior World Championships, and we have got 6 more weeks to train her. So I think by then she will be ready. So crash program is going on. The thing is that as she was away, so now she is slowly coming into that rhythm, because she was out of form and not out of form, out of training for few months. So it will take time. She's very young. She's not a mature athlete. So the technique, she's just reaching and just learning. So it's very easy, go back, and if we are away from the track, it will go reverse back. So now we are just bringing her back to her normal techniques. So I think by 6 weeks is enough for her to get ready for the Junior World Championships. Yeah, Kali, but it's a long journey. We are preparing her for that Junior World Championships. Yes.
Okay. Anju, how important is a Commonwealth Games? Because some people say, at least in some disciplines, the standard is maybe not as high as an Asian Games. But in some, say, even, if I think of, say, cycling, India, or swimming, India finds it impossible to get even a medal. So it's not easy. So there are differences in standard. But in terms of athletics, Britain, for example, is a powerhouse. I mean, if we see British athletics, the way they've come up, how important is a Commonwealth Games for somebody like you?
See, athletics, it's according to the number of countries, the toughness is going up. Asian Games, 40 plus countries are there. So only that much toughness. But in Commonwealth Games, 80 plus countries are there, and most of them are top level countries. So the toughness is that much, and getting a medal in Commonwealth is very tough in athletics. So most of the Olympic medal winners are there in Commonwealth Games also. So that tough is Commonwealth Games, and winning a medal in Commonwealth is almost just one tier below the World Championships. So it's just so this year we have World Championship also, but unfortunately it's all competitions
Together.
are clashing together. Yeah, so there are no kids are not getting enough time to go for the other competitions. So that is the issue this year. But I think most of the athletes are seasoned and they can do in both the events. But this junior championships actually it was just very close to the Commonwealth Games. But I think the toughness is there even for Neeraj also. It's not that easy to win a medal there. But I think now he is in a very good form, so he can win the medal. So same like in long jump also. Long jump 5 Olympic finalists are there in women category. So same like in men category also. So it's very tough actually in athletics.
So to clear this, because there is this misconception that what, Commonwealth Games is easy, Asian Games is difficult. So let's clear this misconception. What you've just told us, that in athletics at least, winning a Commonwealth Games medal is of extreme importance and the challenge is serious. So if anyone wants to denigrate, he or she is making a mistake. I'm right in saying that.
Yes, you're really right. Actually, see, as I said, the toughness of the competition is very high. So in badminton, Asian Games they are considering tougher
Difficult.
than Commonwealth Games. But in athletics, it's opposite side. So Commonwealth is the toughest event, and then it comes the World Championship, and then World Championship and Olympic competition wise, it's together. It's almost equal. But Commonwealth is coming one step above Asian Games and below the World Championships.
Got it. Last 2-3 questions, Anju. One, when you prepare for a Commonwealth Games, yes, you know in your mind that I have not had the kind of exposure maybe I would have required. But you are still going to go there for your country to have to win a medal. Mentally, how do you train yourself? How do you overcome that niggling doubt? How do you mentally, give me your own example. How did Anju Bobby George train for a major championship mentally?
See, my case was different. Each athlete is different kind of nature. See, how we are preparing and how we are behaving inside the competition field, that matters a lot. See, sometimes we prepare really well, but when we go for the competition, maybe mental fear or something will happen and we are not able to perform there in the right time. So my case was different. I got the first international medal in the Commonwealth Games, and Bobby was also not there during my competition. He was in India, but I got a medal. So that also in the 6th jump. Till 6th jump, I was standing in the 6th position. So what I was thinking in just before the last jump, I was continuously doing 6:39 or 6:39. The weather was extreme, and I was very new for a foreign country. But inside my mind, I was talking to me, and I said, "See, this is not the distance I was aiming for. I did better than this in Indian soil many times. Then why can't I reproduce the same thing?" And I went all out in my last jump. And no one was there to support me even in my approach, because it's a technical event. We need outside support, where we are hitting, how we are hitting, is it windy, we need to stop or what. But nobody was there to support me. But that was running in my mind. I am better than the third girl, or I am better than the second girl, or I am better than the first girl. Why can't I do today? So I went all out. And in the 6th jump, I got the medal. So that kind of mentality, fearless attitude we need in competition. So that what we need that is mentoring actually. So I can teach my kids how to behave, exactly how to behave in the competition field. So that kind of mentoring and coaching we need to get before the championships.
Okay, so there's one Anju Bobby George who will mentor. There's one Bobby who will do an academy, spend his own money. You two as a couple, but we need more. If you take the West, there are many academies, many facilities. Now we see from Prime Minister down, we see tremendous enthusiasm for sport. Chess Olympiad, support there. You know, post Tokyo, tremendous support there. Are you seeing a change? Are you seeing real change in India?
We missed actually all these opportunities when I was an athlete, because none of our yeah, authorities were like, they were not bothered. Sports was not in our mainstream. It was just going on, happening, and maybe when we get a medal, okay, so one something like some celebrations will be there after winning the medal, but before there's no support. But now see, from the grassroots level, there are a lot of changes. Actually, Hello India is searching talents at the grassroots level, and top Target Olympic podium is supporting athletes for the Olympic podium finish. So, and in that, between that, there are a lot of pyramids. Actually, kids are they are enjoying sports now, and they don't need to bother anything. If they need anything, they can directly approach the minister, or the prime minister himself is available for them. So the changes actually, and see, it have to come from the family. Parents actually, they should support the kids to go for training and go for competition and for the sports. Now that is also happening. People are ready to send their kids for sports, just like sending them for MBBS or engineering. Now they are considering sports are also a major career. This thing. So changes are there all over. I think that momentum will it will keep rolling, and it will greatly support our sports.
Got it. Last question. You know, it takes a lot of courage, Anju, to put in your own savings and money and personal funds into creating an academy, because you did not know whether support will come. What prompted it? I mean, you two, and y'all are not cricketers that you've got billions of money lying in the bank. You don't. I mean, yes, you are a celebrity, but you've grown up the hard way. Let's face it, I mean, the kind of money that athletics has is still not comparable. So to put in your own money into an academy, and now you have some corporate support, was a dream. How challenging was to do the academy, and what is your dream for it going forward? Because this I wanted to ask, because I wanted to celebrate the two of you, that, you know, people like you are rare. And it is important that the country recognizes that. So tell me about this dream.
See, this is the same thing what our parents did years before. Actually, they also did exactly the same thing. They made a volleyball court for youngsters, and from there, a lot of international players came out. And that blood is actually flowing in our body also. So we are also following the same thing. The hard-earned money what we got through our career. So we don't know whether we can get it back. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, or it's impossible. But it's our dream to bring many athletes from our country, or many jumpers from our country. Then only my event will celebrate. See, Neeraj got a gold in javelin. Now javelin is celebrating all over. So when we get a medal from Olympics, then my event also will celebrate one day. So that dream, that medal, that is actually going in our mind, and that's why we are putting our hard-earned money into our academy. So now I'm sure after winning few medals, the support will come in. But till then, it's a struggle, and we are still struggling to bring both the ends together. But it's for a positive cause. It's for our dream. So that's why that is the motivation actually behind our dream. And my career is over. So if we can support one or two athletes, or a few bunch of athletes, see, our name still people will remember.
And let's put it this way. Let's put it this way to end. Your career is not over, because you're the living embodiment of an Indian dream, Anju Bobby George. And through you, all of us will dream not simply for an Olympic medal, but more importantly for a fundamental change in our mindset in the country. If people like you can lead the way, creating academies, putting in your hard-earned monies, there is a lot of lesson for each of us. So your career is not over. Secondly, you said people will remember you. Whether or not you create an academy or not, people will still remember. But what you are doing, you are creating a legacy that forever you can be proud of. So there's no debate on that. And as I said, your dream lives on. And through you, our dream of seeing an Indian medal in long jump also lives on. So many more medals to your athletes, success to the academy, success to you and Bobby. Hopefully, physically, I'll see you soon. It's been a while because of, but hopefully we'll get a chance to meet each other soon and celebrate together. Thank you very, very much, Anju, Bobby, George, for joining us. Always a pleasure.